The kingpins of crime are at it again. The mysterious criminal organization Fowl has hatched a plan to take control of the peaceful city of St. Canard. 6 of their most heinous henchmen are running rampant through the city, and only the daring Darkwing Duck can bring them to justice. Join Darkwing as he explores the woods to weed out Bushroot's evil plan. Search the warehouses along the wharf for Megavolt and pull the plug on an electrifying scheme. Track down all 6 of Fowl's crafty criminals, and then prepare yourself as Darkwing squares off against the sinister Steelbeak in his fiendish floating fortress. In this, Darkwing Duck from Capcom, released in 1992. I think one of the last licensed games they did on the NES. They had a ton of games on the NES. Let's take a look here. We could be wrong. Mighty Final Fight. DuckTales 2 came out in 93. And a game called Wily and Light No Rock Board. That's Paradise. Interesting. Mega Man 6 came out after that. Oh, Rescue Rangers 2, even after that. Last game they made for the NES, looks like, was Rescue Rangers 2. How about that? I was wrong. Rescue Rangers 2, by the way, came out the same year as Mega Man X. That's a long time ago. Darkwing Duck, though, speaking of Mega Man, is very Mega Man-like. Based on the TV series Darkwing Duck. Odd. Game was developed by Capcom for the NES in 92 and ported to the Game Boy in 93. The Game Boy is essentially a slightly stripped-down version of this game. A mysterious crime wave is at St. Canard, and Shush requires the service of caped crime fighter Darkwing Duck to stop it, as it appears that Fowl and their valued operative Steelbeak is behind the uprising. They have hired 6 of Darkwing's greatest foes to wreak havoc in different areas throughout the city. Darkwing must go and one by one stop these criminals in order to find Steelbeak and save the city. The game plays very much like Mega Man. Lots of jumping and shooting and the ability to change weapons via a subscreen. The game is actually running on a slightly tweaked Mega Man 5 engine. So if you like Mega Man games, this is a pretty good one to try. There are some different things. Darkwing can't slide, but pushing up does cause him to draw his cape. And as I talk, as if I had my cape drawn, it will deflect certain projectiles, and then they won't hurt you anymore. You start out with a standard stun gas gun, but can collect special adapters that alter its function. Darkwing can also deflect certain projectiles by using his cape. Blah, 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 blah. For the most part, the beta version of the game is pretty consistent with the final version, but a few details are different, especially in later levels of the game. At the tower level boss battle, Moriarty lacks a stationary sprite, plus all 3 flamethrower machines are fully operational when the battle begins. The warehouse wharf level had platforms with spikes under them, and the wharf's boss battle, Megavolt, moves much faster, and the running spark at the bottom of the screen is not present. The woods level featured owls instead of hawks. In the final boss battle, the spoilers, I'm not going to talk about it. When a boss is defeated, Darkwing will leap off the screen in tradition to Mega Man, teleporting off the screen after battle. In the bonus games, Jay Gander states that Fowl is behind the burglaries. The designs of both bonus games are drastically different. Wait, what? Bonus games? Part 1 features the entrance to an underground cabin instead of a city rooftop. Part 2 takes place outside what shows to be a Ferris wheel. I think those may have been removed. I don't know. The game has been considered an example of quality Disney games produced by Capcom. It has been noted that the game was intended for children but became popular with older teens. Author Andy Slavin used it as an example of a game that, while made for children, appealed to teenagers more. There's an unlicensed port. This may need to be brought to the attention of one Dr. Stuart Ashens. Unlicensed port to the Game King under the title Duckman. Had kind of a weird Keanu Reeves looking cover, if I remember right. Darkwing Duck, fantastic game. Loved the cartoon. Not as much as I liked DuckTales, though. I like DuckTales, my favorite. Hands down, is my favorite. Darkwing Duck, that's tough. It's tied for second with Rescue Rangers, I think. And then Tailspin, Goof Troop, blah, 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 blah. Goof Troop better than Tailspin. Didn't like Tailspin. There's a Tailspin game. Didn't like it either. This game, I like.